Welcome into tonight's broadcast. We are coming to you live from historic Blankenship Field, where tonight the Wildcats play host to Karns. The Beavers come into tonight's ball game 2-1 on the season, while Oak Ridge hopes to find relief within these friendly confines, playing their first home game of the year. After falling to Jefferson County in Week 1 and Powell last Friday, the Wildcats intend on getting into the win column in what will be their first region game of the season. Alex Myers here with you tonight on play-by-play. Alongside with me all night long will be the legend, the wild man, Mike Sheehan. Mike, as we welcome you into the broadcast, what intrigues you most about this matchup?
Getting to be at home is the biggest thing. There's no finer place in the United States to play football than right here at Blankenship Field, Jack Armstrong Stadium. Beautiful night tonight, kind of overcast right now, 80 degrees going down to 72. Perfect weather for football. I can't hardly wait to get this game started. Wildcats are going to have to come out tough tonight, Alec. Execute, play well together, limit their penalties, and get back in the win column.
Absolutely, as the band is really big tonight. It's been big all year, obviously. Great participation from the Wild Band, but tonight it's an odd specter. It's a sort of fiasco here. Is we've got the first home game being 4 weeks into the season. It's also homecoming. So along with that, it's not homecoming, excuse me, but it is the typical deal where they do the Robertsville and Jefferson bands. They let them come out alongside. So the big L that they shape onto the field where the Wildcats run through after they come down the steps, it's even bigger tonight, and it's got some speckles of blue and Robertsville red in there as well. And Mike, you can hear the train horn, you can hear the whistle blowing. And about 4 minutes until kickoff, I see Coach Rang leading his troops down all 72 steps. Take us through, you're a former Wildcat. What's going on in those players' minds right now as those kids tap them on the shoulder as they walk down those steps?
I tell you, they'll probably have butterflies. I can remember it was 56 years ago when I came down these steps my senior year. I knew I was going to be playing. I had butterflies, unbelievable. People were patting me on the shoulders, and as soon as I hit that field, those butterflies went away. I started running and come through and was so excited. Everybody's going to be super excited tonight, especially the seniors. They know this is their very first game as a starting Wildcat, and they're going to be excited and ready to play against a very good Karns team.
We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the coin toss, we'll have kickoff, and we'll have Wildcat football right here on these stations. 3 minutes. That's your boy.
Additionally, PWSAA's ejector policy states during players ejected official, the ejected family will not return. They pay a $250 fine or serve potential suspension. Please don't forget playing. Enjoy the game and let's play some football!
Especially the first few weeks when that first little bit of
Captains for tonight's game for Karns. Number 0, Alex Idle. Number 2, Deshaun Huckabee. Number 60, Ethan Barbles. Number 80, Ray Kittle. The veteran captain. Number 20, Braxton or Cleveland. 22, Richie Ferreira. 24,
Why has this got a mark on it?
The captain.
Okay, thank you.
That's the captain. I'm sure they'll be playing. None of our captains play.
That's what I was gonna try to write them down, remember, but I'm like, I don't know who these.
I got them written down, but I looked them up.
Welcome back to Jack Armstrong Stadium, Blankenship Field. The first Friday night of football within the city of Oak Ridge. And Mike, it is good to be home, and these Wildcats are excited to be home as well. Rough start to the year, 0-2 against two good teams, solid teams on the road. Certainly this team coming in tonight. Karns, an opportunity for Oak Ridge to bounce back, get back in the win column for the first time this year. Karns, though, 2-1, no slouch themselves. Oak Ridge finally hosting a home game, and they'll kick off first. Their defense had a great start to the game last week. If you're Coach Rang, you want to see your defense do the same thing.
Absolutely, and this is a very important game because it's a region game, and you have to win the region to get a good playoff position. So the Wildcats need to start positioning themselves starting tonight against the Karns Beavers, as Eli Pearson's got the ball up on the tee, getting ready to kick off for the first time in Blankenship Field for the year 2024.
It will be Eli Pearson working left to right, kicking from the north end towards Jackson Square, and he nearly hits Dean's Restaurant. Wow. That ball's out of the back of the end zone.
Wow.
A great start for Pearson. One of Oak Ridge's most valuable, important weapons is their kicker, their talented kicker, who also does punting duties, field goal, all of the above. Let's go over the starters for the defense as they trot on the field in cardinal and gray. Up front, it's Tim Walters, T. Ray Threet, Ethan Eubanks on the line, Amani Bishop, linebacker, T.J. Hibben, inside linebacker, J.T. Gormley, linebacker, and Caden Stewart, linebacker. In the back four, it's Jarrell Jimerson, Tyree Porter, Dallas Frent, and Clivez Williams. For Karns, quarterback in the shotgun formation. Two receivers to his right, one to his left. The quarterback is number 9, Austin Slover. He's a 5'11", 140-pound slight junior quarterback. He hands it up the middle to number 16, Carson Paul, and that goes about nowhere. They're going to mark him actually for a loss of about a yard. Good showing up front. T-Ray Threet up front right there. Nowhere to run for Karns.
J.T. Gormley there on the stop for the Wildcats, David. Linebacker. He's one of the better linebackers we've got on this team.
Speaking of David Clary, he is helping produce this show. He is unfortunately unable to be here tonight, but he'll be back hopefully next week. Karns in the shotgun formation, two to the right. They're going to go that way. Little bubble screen out to the right, still behind the line of scrimmage. Man makes one miss, makes a second. He's going to scramble forward for a gain of about 7, and it'll bring up a 3rd and a long 4. Ball spotted on the Karns 26-yard line. It was Avery Westfield, the 5'8", 150-pound wide receiver, on the catch for Karns. You know, they list him as an athlete. That's a guy you could see carry the ball, catch the ball. 3rd and 4 here, Mike. Big stop right here coming up for the Wildcats.
Yeah, we need this right here. We need to get them backed up and make them punt to us.
Karns, one tailback in the backfield. They've got an H-back, kind of a hybrid fullback position towards the left. 2 receivers towards the left, 1 to the near side towards the Karns sideline on the short side. Ball's on the hash. Quarterback, quick throw out to the left. Could it be a double pass? No, a little bubble screen, and that's going nowhere. First met by Oak Ridge's Caden Stewart, wrapped up by Gormley as well. Excellent start to the ball game for the Wildcat defense.
Absolutely. Quavez Williams also there on the stop for the Wildcat. He got nowhere, Alex, and it brings up 4th down and about 2, and the Karns Beavers are going to have to punt it back to the Wildcats. Back deep for the Wildcats, Josh Emerson.
Just 2 minutes into this ball game, 10 minutes on the clock. It's 4th and 2. Karns in punt formation from their own 28-yard line on what was an unsuccessful opening possession for the Beavers. Beavers in their all white tops, blue pants with a gold and white stripe. Here's a snap, low snap. Punt is off. It's going to hit at the 45, roll down to the 32 where it's caught by Jimerson. Jimerson picks it up and is immediately wrapped up by Karns' Jake Helton. Nice coverage on the return. Nice job by Jimerson fielding that punt. Last week we saw a punt or two that bounced and rolled. It looks like that's a point of an emphasis this week, Mike. He didn't let that one roll and lose yardage.
Well, it took a good bounce and came right into his hands, but then immediately Jake Helton was there to make the stop for the Beavers. But the Wildcats now have position, 1st and 10 on the 31-yard line.
As we work through the starting lineup for the Wildcats, up front, it's tackle Ethan Eubanks, Malachi Bonner at center, TJ Hibben, Elijah Young left guard, and the left tackle is Jared Bafford. At wideout, it is Jarrell Jimerson, Will Presley, and Adam Washington. Malik Howard's your tight end, Blaine Stansberry the quarterback, and to his left into the backfield is DeMillion Porter. Porter didn't play a lot in the second half last week. Good to see him back in the starting lineup. Man in motion is Jimerson. Toss goes to him on the left side, the short side of the field. He's going to scamper forward for a gain of, should have been about 3, but he just kept rolling forward, and they're going to get him a spot of about almost 6 yards there. So a successful first down play sets up the Wildcats in 2nd and 4.
Jai Jefferson there on the carry, second time tonight after the return of the opening kickoff. Wildcats in pretty good shape, 2nd down and 5.
3 minutes into this ball game, 9 minutes on the clock left in the opening quarter. Oak Ridge moving left to right as we see it from the press box, coming from the north side of Blankenship Field, driving towards Jackson Square. Here's the snap. Fake handoff up the middle, wide open Will Presley in the screen. At the 40, 45, 50, can they catch him? They do. They wrestle him down on the other side of the 50, all the way down at the Beaver 45-yard line. Just a quick look out to the left. It was just a numbers game. There was one more blocker than there was a defensive back. Quick throw, quick catch, first down, and that's a tin bank of Oak Ridge first down for the Wildcats.
Yeah, he had another receiver out in front of him blocking for him, and he hit Will right in the numbers, and Will took it up the field for another Wildcat first down.
Familiar formation. We'll see this a lot from the Wildcats all year long. DeMillion Porter at running back. Here goes the give, and right before the snap, there was a penalty. Gonna think this was gonna be a false start. We'll see what the call is. And unfortunately for the Wildcats, it's 1 step forward, 2 steps back, as there's a first down. But it'll be 1st and 15, ball right at the 50-yard line. It's on the left hash towards the Karns sideline. It'll be 1st and 15 right at the midfield stripe. DeMillion Porter, the lone tailback, one receiver to the short side. That's Adam Washington. He's a possession receiver for the Wildcats coming into his own here in his junior season. To the right side of the field, it's trips. Big Malik Howard right in the middle of things. Will Presley the furthest out towards the Oak Ridge sideline. Jarrell Jimerson right at the midfield stripe as well. Porter on the give, left side, 50, 45, 40, 35, and he's going to be tackled, but not before he crosses the chains for the first down. It's a 16-yard gain. They needed 15, and it's a tin bank of Oak Ridge first down from the Porter.
Outstanding. Simon Tutua on the stop for the Karns Beavers, but not before the Wildcats got yet another first round. Driving on the Beavers right now, down to the Oak Ridge 47-yard line.
The Beavers, it's actually the Beavers' 34-yard line, and immediately again, right as the ball was snapped, there's another penalty. Usually tends to be on the offense if that play is called. Encroachment on the defense, actually. So, Mike, Oak Ridge penalized first. Now Karns is penalized, and it's 1st and 5. You wonder, Coach Ring, if this might be a play where you see a shot towards the end zone, knowing that even if it's incomplete, you're still set up with second medium.
Be interesting to see the play call here, Alec.
They do if they
down on the 29-yard line now.
If they do want to take a shot, Mike, they've got Will Presley, no safety over the top. It's one-on-one.
Oh, you're right.
Here's the snap. Fake. They're going to get it out to Malik Howard, right side, across the 25, down to the 20. Rumbles and stumbles, and he's tackled, but not before a tin bank of Oak Ridge first down. It's 1st and 10 Wildcats near the near sideline, all the way down to the 16-yard line. Malik Howard with the catch, and Austin Fan on the tackle for the Beavers. Mike, just Wildcats getting quick throws. We talked about last week how the pressure was getting to Blaine quickly. There's no time for that pressure to get to him with how quickly they're getting rid of the ball.
Yeah, Will Presley did a good job blocking that time. He got him at least an extra 5 yards, Alec.
Will does have a significant height advantage out there on the far side. 2 receivers left, one to the right. One of those on the left side is Jimerson. He crumbs across Blaine's face. Here's the snap. Give left side to Porter. Porter's going to try to just kind of shove his head in there and see how far he can get. And it didn't look like there was much there, Mike, but he actually got about 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 5, ball on the 12-yard line of the Beavers as the Wildcats are looking really, really good, kind of like that first drive at Powell last week when the offensive line was just dominant.
Yeah, good pad leverage by Porter that time. He got down there, and he just lowered his shoulder pads and started driving forward the leg drive, and he actually got 4 yards on that carry.
I remind you to stay tuned. Coming up at the halftime, it will be the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show. We got a lot of ball to play before then. They're going to actually say it was just a gain of 4, so it's 2nd and 6 from the 12-yard line. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. They're going to fake that way. They're going to throw it. One-on-one. Will Presley didn't make the catch. It was close. He kind of had to go up with one hand, and he just didn't haul it in. It was a good attempt, though. Good ball placement by Blaine right there. Blaine Stansbury put it in the ball in a position, Mike, where if Will wasn't going to catch it, there was no shot for that defender to make a play.
Exactly right. And Chris Boyce actually pulled Will Presley's hands down, unenabling him to catch that pass. So incomplete pass brings now 3rd down and 6 for the Wildcats. Ball's on the 12.
6:06 to go here in this opening quarter. This is the Wildcats' opening possession on offense after a Karns 3-and-out to start the game. 3 receivers left, 1 to the right. Porter in motion. They're going to fake it out to him. They're going to try to hit Howard. Howard catches it, breaks the tackle. 10, 5, touchdown, Malik Howard from Blaine Stansbury. A beautiful play.
Absolutely. Blaine hit him right up high. Malik jumped up, caught the ball, pulled it down, made a great move on the defender, and ran untouched. 12 yards for the score. Wildcats up 6-0.
Everybody on the defense was shifting left. They were faking Porter out to the left like they were going to get a little screen out to him. Even the Oak Ridge linemen were kind of pulling towards that left side. One man and one man only came across the middle. It was a Malik Howard, and what a ball placement by Blaine Stansbury. Snap, up, kick is up. And the kick is good from Eli Pearson. We're going to take a break, but when we come back in 60 seconds, the Wildcats will be kicking off. It's 7-0. Wildcats in the lead early in the first quarter.
The Oak Ridge High School Athletic Department and Oak Ridge Football.
That's a pretty play.
Yep.
Sponsors for the continued support of Oak Ridge Football. Global Solutions. Gray Fox Insurance. Old Franklin Motors. Hospital Orthopedic Clinics, Oak Ridge Pharmacy, and UCOR. Thank you, corporate sponsors. Eli Pearson, the kickoff for the Wildcats. These Beavers
Like the way it started.
Number 6. Apiat Royal. Correction, Royal.
To kick off will be Eli Pearson. His first kick went 9 yards deep into the end zone before it bounced. The Wildcats would love to see that here again. Pearson approaching, kicks the ball from the 40, and he kicks it well into the end zone once again, and that is just such a relief as a coach to have that consistency from your kicking game.
What a weapon Eli Pearson is. There's no doubt about it. He's just a junior, and if he's not one of the best kickers in the state, I'll eat my hat. He is really good. I enjoy watching that young man play. And he can punt, too.
Absolutely. 1st and 10 from the 20-yard line. Karns takes over on their second possession. They went 3-and-out on their opening possession, an unsuccessful one where the Wildcat defense stood strong. 5:58 to go here in the opening quarter. Karns with it. Moving from the Jackson Square south side of Blankenship Field, trying to go northward. Handoff up the middle for a gain of about 3. They're going to give him 4, and it'll be 2nd and 6 after Carson Paul, the senior tailback, number 16, rumbled forward for pretty much all that was there. He kind of made something out of nothing.
Dallas Frent there on the tackle for the Wildcats, Alec.
As many may remember Deshaun Bishop. He was one of the best running backs, high school running backs in the entire country for a few years back. He got some carries at the UT NC State game last week. That was kind of fun to see. Second down play, quick strike out to Warda Apiat near the first down line. Are they going to give it to him? It's going to be close. Needed to get to the 30, and the official is standing with his foot on the 30. They do signal finally to move the change, and that's Karns' first down of the ball game. It'll be 1st and 10. They're going to mark it right at the 30. Near side hash towards the Oak Ridge sideline. Karns got 3 wide receivers to the right, 1 to the left, a single tailback in the backfield alongside junior quarterback Austin Slover. Slover fakes the snap, looks over to the sideline, kind of like Campbell County used to do under the Price twins. They would get the signal in late for what play to call. Here it is. Handoff up the middle again, and nowhere is that going. Why is that? Because number 38, J.T. Gormley. Gormley missed the first game, Mike, at Jefferson County, and boy, is his presence a welcome sight for Wildcat fans.
Yeah, Tim Waters also there on the stop for the Wildcats. They hemmed him in pretty quickly. That was a great tackle by JT to finish him off. Waters stood him up, and JT finished him off.
4:10 to go in this opening quarter. Oak Ridge up 7-0. Wildcats scoring on their first drive. Karns 3 and out on their first drive. This is their second drive. It's 2nd and 7 from the 33-yard line. Little quick bubble screen out to the right, tunnel screen rather, and it's going nowhere. How about Tim Walters getting out there from the lineman position? Ferreira out there, Gormley, gang tackling. It's always nice as a fan, Mike, when you see, the coaches love it too, not just one hat on the football, when you see 2, 3, 4 jerseys around the football, making sure that guy's going nowhere.
Absolutely. Richie Ferreira there on the all-stop also. Good gang tackling by the Wildcats that time. Brings up now 3rd down and long, 3rd and 8 on the 32 for the Karns Beavers.
Yeah, they're going to say he actually lost 1 as the ball was thrown. It was a forward pass, but it was behind the line of scrimmage. And Karns in no particular hurry. This is not exactly what I would call an up-tempo offense. Cats matched up man-to-man. It's going to be a run on 3rd and 9, and great play there from Oak Ridge's Tyree Porter. Porter playing that safety position, and he just came up and made a great play, kept his pad leverage, didn't get out in front of his pads and get juked or anything. Just a really nice open field tackle by Porter, forcing a 4th down.
Yeah, Tyree recognized right off that was going to be a run, and they tried to get outside. He plugged up the hole, made the stop, and that brings up 4th and 5 on the 35. The Beavers will be kicking him back to the Wildcats.
Doesn't exactly scream that you've got confidence in your passing game when you run it on 3rd and 9.
Yeah. Jai Jemerson back deep for the Wildcats.
4th and 5 from their own 35-yard line. Karns back to punt. Punter stands with his heels on the 20. Punt nearly blocked by Frent, but it is away safely. It's going to bounce at the 35. Jemerson's going to pick it up at the 21. Across the 25. Makes one man miss, makes another. Still going, and he finally scampers up to about the 30-yard line. So clearly, Jemerson has been told, do not let that ball roll harmlessly down the field.
Yeah,
instead, he's picking it up, and it's making a difference.
Yeah, he's fielded a bouncing ball twice now. That time he got about 5 yards, but I thought they were going to have him again immediately, but he spun out of it and kept pushing it on up the field. The Wildcats in good shape on their own on the Karns Beaver 30-yard line. 1st and 10 with 2 minutes and 3 seconds left here in the first quarter.
Demillion Porter has gone all the way here in this first quarter. He has played every snap at the running back position. Play action pass, left side. Will Presley catches it at the 35, makes a man miss. 40, 50, 45, 40. One man to beat. He's down to past the 30. Gets a block from Madison Washington at the 20, 15, 10, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Touchdown. 6 points for the Wildcats by way of Will Presley.
70 yards. That play covered 70. A great pass by Blaine Stansberry out into the flat, and it was all Will Presley. Great moves, made 3 people miss on his way to the goal. The Wildcats take a 13-0 lead.
You leave a cornerback on an island one-on-one against number 2, and you are quite frankly playing with fire. 13-0, pending the extra point. To snap it will be TJ Hiven. To hold it will be Adam Washington, who threw that block at the end of that play. I don't want that to go without saying. Adam Washington's block helped spring that from a long gain to a touchdown. Adam Washington to hold, Presley to kick. Snap, set, kick, and we're going to commercial break with a 14-0 lead for the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
That was beautiful, buddy. That was beautiful. It don't get any better than that. Will made a heck of a move.
I said one man to meet, one man to beat, and then I don't know where that guy came from because I didn't see him at first. He must have had a great angle
Yeah,
on him or
number
something.
17.
I didn't see him. He wasn't
He
in
got
the
the
picture.
angle of pursuit is what it was.
Okay.
But then when he changed up his speed, he slowed down. The guy ran by him and he took off again and outran him.
Boy, that was a great.
Will's
That was a
got
great.
speed.
He does, but that was a great one by Adam.
Yeah, it was. It really was.
WIT Services for helping us pack the ship tonight. WIT Services bought 100 tickets for Oak Ridge High School students for tonight's game. Thank you, WIT Services, for
I got 2 cookies over here, Mike.
of Oak Ridge football. Roll Wildcats. Eli Pearson to kick off for the
The
Wildcats.
last touchdown was again sponsored by the class of 1989. I want to thank them and all of our great sponsors. We hope and ask and plead that you please support those sponsors. Without them, without you, the listener, supporting them, we don't have a broadcast. It takes money to get on the radio and to make this happen, and we appreciate them for making this all possible. Mike, I'll mention what I was going to say before I get ahead of myself after this kickoff. Here comes Pearson for the kickoff. Can he go make it 3 for 3? That's a no-doubter.
Man.
Mike, last week, Oak Ridge started out with a 3-and-out on defense, marched down the field, 8-10 play drive, scored. It was 7-0. This week, the same thing happened. Different results after. Immediately, Oak Ridge got another stop, and their offense said, we're not taking the foot off the gas this week. It's 14-0 before Karns has even blinked. There's still 1:47 to go in this opening quarter.
Very impressive start for the Wildcats. I love to see this. I mean, here in the first quarter, with 1:47 left, the Wildcats up 14-0 over the Karns Beavers. You got to be excited about the way the Wildcats have came over and taken over Blankenship Field.
4 wideouts, no tight ends for the Karns Beavers. 2 to each side. They're going to try to widen Oak Ridge out and hand it off up the middle. Tyree Porter is going to bring the running back down after an off-tackle run to the outside on the right. Results in a gain of 7 for Karns, and it'll be 2nd and 3 from the 27-yard line. And Karns clearly leaning on that run game, and that's all well and dandy. But Mike, if Oak Ridge can extend this lead, at some point Karns is going to have to try to throw the ball, something they haven't really even attempted, but probably 2 or 3 times all game.
Absolutely. Caden Stewart there on the stop for the Wildcats. Brings up 2nd down and 3 now for the Beavers from their own 27.
Coach Hawkins, mere feet away from us in the next booth over, we can see from him a concentrated face, as he is one of the best around. A veteran in the coaching industry. Here is a long, deep throw from Karns, and it's going to fall harmlessly out of bounds. Excellent coverage that time. It was just a deep shot from Karns after we talked about them not being real willing to take a shot. They did just that. For Oak Ridge, it was Quivez Williams in coverage. There's a flag on the play in the backfield, so I wonder if Oak Ridge could have hit the quarterback a little bit late. And it is a roughing the passer on the Wildcats, and that's unfortunate. It was going to be 3rd down. And with that 15-yard penalty, it will be 1st and 10 all the way up, Mike, at the 42-yard line. Karns still yet to have passed midfield on this, their 3rd drive, but certainly the best field position and the best opportunity they've had to do that yet here after that penalty makes it 1st and 10 from the 42-yard line. 53 seconds to go in the opening quarter. Karns has it on their own sidelines hash. The wide side of the field is to the left towards the press box. Running right side once again, and they're going to get about 1.5 yards. Gormley in there on the stop along with Tim Walters. And it actually looked like for Oak Ridge, Amani Bishop was in there. Nice to see Amani. Yeah, they're going to give him about 1 yard on the gain, so big opportunity here. If you're Oak Ridge, most teams you play, you think this is probably a pass, but for Karns, I think you got to be thinking run here with 25 seconds on the game clock, 27 on the play clock. Karns does not have to snap this ball. And to me, they look reserved to not snap it.
I was going to say, they're walking over toward the sideline already. Clock kicking down to 13 seconds. The Wildcats going to have to change into the field. They're going to flip it over right here, and just to flip the possession of the field. The Wildcats are going to be leading after the first quarter, 14-0 over the Karns Beavers.
We'll be back in 60 seconds from Blankenship Field.
Second and 9.
Second and 10. We'll call it second and a long 9 here from Karns' own 42-yard line, trying to cross midfield for the first time all night. First play of the second quarter. It's going to be a little option to the left. Quick pitch to the running back, way too quick, and Jarrell Jimerson was there, and he's letting them know that's going to be a stop in the backfield, and it's going to bring up third and 10.
Jai did a great job of running to the ball that time, Alec. He pitched it out, and he gained right back to where he was. Still third and a long 9 with 11:33 now left in the first half.
Karns trying to just, I think mentally you got to get over that hurdle. You got to at least cross the midfield stripe, and if you at least get it close to midfield, then maybe you're thinking, let's keep our foot on the gas, let's go for this. But right now, you're certainly in position to punt. If you don't get close, you're on third and 10. Roll out to the right from the quarterback. He's pressured early, and he's going nowhere. He's going down. A sack. Tim Walters, J.T. Gormley, and Dallas Frent. 3 men in there, and they get him in the backfield. A sack for the Wildcat defense, their first of the night. Oak Ridge defensively, they're ready to go.
Yes, they are. Ethan Eubanks also there on the stop. They just swarmed him. Alec, he didn't have a chance that time. Now we got him backed up to the 41, and they're going to have to punt the ball away. Back deep for the Wildcats, George Emerson.
Hunter Owens, his legs stayed warm so far tonight. 3 drives, 3 punts. He stands at his own 25-yard line, High snap, nearly blocked again. That one is off, a pretty good punt. This time it's going to be fair caught by Jarrell Jimerson at the 30. So Karns successfully flips the field, and it's first and 10 for the Wildcats, now moving south towards the north end zone at the 31-yard line. First and 10 with 10:20 to go here in the second quarter.
Yeah, I want to point this out. This is exactly on the 30-yard line where they started the last time, and Will Presley caught a pass and took it 70 yards as the Wildcats lead here 14-0.
Again, 10:20 to go here. Oak Ridge starting their third drive of the ball game. Tight set. Malik Howard with his hand in the dirt as a tight end. Handoff left side Porter. Crossing the 30 to the 35, and he's going to be shoved down, but shoved forward by the Karns defender. It was Alex Idle who first met him and helped bring him down. But again, Mike, as they pushed him toward the ground and forward, and it was a nice gain there. 2nd and 3 after a gain of 7 on first down.
Anytime you can get 7 yards on the first down, you've done a great job. Good blocking up front by the Wildcat big boys.
Malik Howard, the lone wideout to the left. This is interesting, getting a lot of respect. Mike, this much smaller cornerback is about 10 yards off the line of scrimmage. He doesn't look like he's real enthused about having this one-on-one matchup. We'll see if the Wildcats go to it or if they stay on the ground on 2nd and 3. Snap, they're going to target him quickly. Here's Howard. Could not make the catch. little bit of a miscommunication there. He came diving back for the ball. It was a little quick hitch route, and Blaine had the ball out there just a little bit early. And unfortunately, that's incomplete, but they were indeed targeting Malik Howard. I like how they're getting him more involved intentionally in the offense.
I think they need to. You know, he's going to be an outstanding receiver. Just a sophomore, and he's already got a lot of college scholarships, including one to University of Tennessee.
He's in there back as a down lineman, that tight end position. Will Presley, the single man, in motion from the right side. They were going to pitch it to him, and he is disappointed as he gets the pitch right before this
Offside.
Right before the play was initiated. There's a flag on the play, and it's going to be a false start from the Wildcats. I don't know, Mike, I didn't see it. If that could have been one of the wide receivers, it wouldn't have been Will Presley, as he wasn't moving forward when the ball was snapped. But obviously a chance for Will to showcase his speed. They had some blocking set up, and unfortunately that play was halted before it really ever began. It's going to be 3rd and 8 now. Ball on the Wildcats' own 33-yard line. 9:31 to go here. Up 14-0 over Karns. Here's the snap. Handoff up the middle. No, it's a fake. A little tunnel screen up the middle. 35, 40. He's got the first down and much, much more. 50, 40. Cuts back inside towards the hash marks, and he's still going, spinning, turning, churning, and falling past the 30-yard line. What a gain, and what a call from Coach Derek Rang on 3rd and long. Karns sold out to try to sack the quarterback. It was the perfect play, excellent execution.
A lot of credit to Blaine Stansbury that time. He was having to back up because the pressure was coming on him. They just let him come in on him. He backed up just enough to get the ball out to Porter, and Porter made a great run up the field for a big first down.
Like you mentioned, it's a tough play as a quarterback because you've got to hold that ball. Even though guys are running out, you've got to hold it long enough for that play to develop. Nice to see Braden Sharp into the ball game for the first time at wideout for the Wildcats. He's the solo man to the right side. Ball on the near side hash, the left hash. And also Howard into the running back spot for the first time all game, and they'll give it to him. He's going to go forward for about a gain of about 2, and there is a flag on the play right at the line of scrimmage. Could be a Karns offside lining up in the neutral zone. It could be, unfortunately, another penalty against Oak Ridge. We'll see. I don't think it's a false start because, Mike, that typically stops the play before the illegal formation is what they're going to call that. It typically means that, Mike, one of the receivers was supposed to be lined up on or off the ball, and however they were supposed to be aligned, they were the opposite way. So, again, 1st and 15 for Oak Ridge. The last time they had a 1st and 15 earlier on that first drive, the next play it was 1st and 10 after a gain of 16. So 1st and 15, ball on the Karns 33-yard line. Wildcats driving, trying to convert again on their 3rd drive. They're up 14-0 with 8:27 to go. Clock is ticking here as we make our way slowly but surely towards the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show. Stansbury observes the defense, snap, play action fake. Throw to the left side, and that just falls harmlessly to the ground. It was in no man's land. Looked like he thought Will Presley's route was going to go a little further than it did, Mike. There was nobody over there.
That ball was well overthrown, and it just went harmlessly out of bounds. So it brings up now, looks like second down and 15. At the 33, excuse me.
You're good. JaMichael Howard comes out of the ball game. Nice little breather for Porter that he provided there. Howard saw most of the carries, if not all the carries, in the second half of the Powell game last week. So Porter is the starter, no doubt, but Howard definitely a worthy back in that second string position. This Howard on the handoff to the left side across the 20 down to the 15 where he's wrestled down at the 12-yard line, and Demillion Porter, after a quick breather from Howard, he comes back in and makes his presence felt. A 19-yard gain.
I don't know if you know, that was a huge hole there on the left side. Great blocking up front by Jared Bafford and Threet that burst him loose with that big gainer. Now 1st and 10 on the Oak Ridge 12.
Elijah Young on that left side at guard next to Bafford, as you mentioned. Great job from them. The wide receivers have blocked well all night long as well for the Wildcats. 1st and 10, handoff right side Howard. Makes a man miss. Great block on the right side by Howard and Ubranks. Springs Porter across the 5 down to the 3-yard line. No, they're going to call him down at the 1, so it's good enough for a first down. It'll be 1st and goal from the 1-yard line, and Mike, if this isn't 4 straight runs, I don't know what else is. An offensive lineman yourself, you got to want to run the ball right.
Oh yeah, and he got outside that time, and it was just a foot race, and he won. Really, he got all the way. I thought he was going to go in there for a second, but they forced him out of bounds. 1st and goal now for the Wildcats from the 1.
Heavy formation. Wide receiver Jarrell Jimerson goes out. In comes Stewart to block, and block he does. Touchdown, Demillion Porter. An easy waltz into the end zone for the Wildcats' number 8 running back. He just went off the right side, Mike. There was very little resistance from the Beavers.
Absolutely. The defense just wasn't there. He just outran everybody. And I got to say it again, there's some good blocking up front tonight. They have really come to play. The Wildcats up now 20-0 with 7:23 still left here in the first half.
Field goal unit on to attempt the extra point. TJ Hibben to snap, Adam Washington to hold, Eli Pearson to block, or to kick. It's nearly blocked. I'm not sure how it wasn't. It was a great diving attempt, but the kick is good, and it's 21-0 Wildcats. We're back to Blankenship Field after this 60-second timeout.
I'm sorry, what?
You're good. Pretty good showing from Karns.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot of people over there, isn't there? There certainly is. Pretty good crowd for Oak Ridge, if you ask me. Man, I'm not believing this. They're playing great.
Back here at Blankenship Field, Alex Myers and Mike Sheehan with you. David Clary helping executive produce this, along with Brian Bennett in the studio. Alex Waraxa doing camera for us on the field. Nice to have him back 2 weeks in a row. Ben is up here as well. Matthew Charles on the field doing camera work, and then Grayson Brown. We appreciate all those doing camera work for us. Those are the ones that make these videos and these moments happen, but they don't get enough credit. Pearson for the kickoff, up 21-0, and he's going to boot this one. Well, the only thing different than any of the other kickoffs is this one lands in the north end zone, but it does indeed land in the end zone. And with 7:23 to go here in the first half, as we work our way to the midpoint of the second quarter, the Wildcats lead at 21-0. Mike, a total domination to this point for the boys in Cardinal and Gray.
Absolutely, and I am so pleased the way they're playing, Alex. They've really come out, taking possession of Jack Armstrong Stadium, Blankenship Field. They want this victory tonight. They know it's a region game. It's big. It counts. So we got to have this win. The way they've started is very exciting.
Indeed. 2 receivers left, 2 tailbacks in the backfield for Karns. This one's going to go off the left side. Dallas Frent making contact. Gormley and Stewart will bring him down, but not after a gain until after a gain of about 6 on the play. It'll be 2nd and a long 4 for the Beavers. You know, Mike, they've had some success on first down, has Karns, but they really haven't been able to follow it up with second and third down success. Typically they have one good play, then they go backwards the next 2 plays.
Yeah, the defense have really stepped up tonight, Alex, no doubt about it. Much better tonight than against Powell last week.
Same formation. This time the tailback moves to the quarterback's left side. They're going to play action, throw it way to the outside. There was a man open. Dallas Frent was in coverage. There's a little bit of a gap there, but Dallas played the angle well. And quite frankly, that was just an overthrow to Alex Idle. Tried to get Idle involved a couple times now. Just a little bit of an errant pass that time, Mike.
Yeah, it went way over his head. There wasn't no way he was going to catch that. Actually went on out of bounds. Now it brings up 3rd and 4 from their own 26. Wildcats need another big stop right here if they want to get possession.
Anthony Angel in at quarterback. Seen him play a lot early in this season.
Nowhere.
Again, another third down play that just goes straight up the middle, and the Wildcats sniff that one out. Again, they lose yards on third down, and Mike, I know their passing game is not necessarily their strong point. However, if you're Karns, Oak Ridge is clearly defensively, they're keying in on that run on third down, and they're just stuffing the box. You got to try something a little more creative, I would think.
Yeah, I think so. Richie Ferrari really putting the pressure on and dropped the running back for a big loss. That brings us up 4th and 4 from the 26th. The Beavers are punting to the Wildcats.
The punter, Hunter Jennings, as Oak Ridge nearly jumps off sides. They got to be careful there. This will be his 4th punt on Karns' 4th drive. Again, the Beavers still have not gotten across the midfield stripe. Pressure. This punt's a great one. Fielded running backwards at the 38 by Jimerson. He's going to cross the 40. Left side, here's a holding penalty. But Jimerson does get it up to the 50 where he's wrestled out of bounds. But unfortunately, there is a holding call. I'm assuming it's a holding on the return.
It
There's
looked
a flag
like
down
it.
at the 43-yard line.
And the unfortunate part is the holding came behind the running, behind the play. Very unfortunate penalty. The Wildcats have 5 penalties now, and it's starting to add up. They need to get a better control of the penalties.
No, it's actually.
Oh, my.
It actually is against Karns, so excuse me for jumping the gun there. Maybe it was a face mask or illegal hands to the face. Either way, it is a big, big penalty. Karns, it looks like the penalty is going to be added to the end of the run, 15 yards. He went out of bounds at the 50. The Wildcats start the possession, 1st and 10 from the Karns Beaver 35-yard line. So immediately, they're in striking distance.
That was a personal foul penalty, obviously be 15-yard penalty. Either way, the Wildcats loving it.
5:38 to go here in the second quarter. Blaine Stansberry going to look left. He's got Will Presley. Stop and go. He's open, and he's going to be held, and that's a penalty. 15-yard flag that time, and it's a smart play because, again, if he doesn't tug at the jersey of Will Presley, that's 6 points into the end zone. In high school and college, remember, Mike, it's just a 15-yard penalty. It's not a spot foul. He was about 15 yards downfield, so it's kind of null. However, 1st and 10 for the Wildcats. They'll have the ball at the Beaver 20-yard line after that penalty.
Yeah, award of apathy on the hole there for the Karns Beavers. Going to give the Wildcats another big first down as they keep marching into Beaver territory. Looks like 1st and 10 on the 20-yard line.
And I'm not sure why Karns refuses to put a safety over the top to help on Will Presley. They're obviously concerned about getting beat over the top, and I understand why, but they're not giving this cornerback any help at all. Quick pass to Malik Howard, left side, 15, bulls over him into the 10, 5, trotting into the end zone. Malik Howard into the end zone for the 2nd time tonight, and Oak Ridge has a 4-score lead with 5:21 to go in the second quarter.
Oh, Malik just made a great catch, and the run after the catch was phenomenal. He sidestepped one man and outran the other to the end zone for a 20-yard score. Wildcats marching here now, Alec, 27-0 with extra point forthcoming.
Just like you mentioned, the run after catch, they just got it out to him, a position where he can make a play. And, at I don't know what he's weighing these days, but getting stronger and stronger each week. Malik Howard standing 6'3", 6'4", probably still growing. He is going to be a tough man, and with speed and agility as well, he's going to be a tough man for anybody to bring down. Nonetheless, a cornerback trying to do it by himself.
He's 6'4", 223 sophomore.
And I don't know that he's not even stronger than 223 at this point, as he is an impressive young athlete, just a sophomore. Howard, a name known for years, decades, and generations from Wildcat athletes. A lot of great Howards have played for the Cardinal and Gray in basketball and football, numerous sports. The extra point after a slight delay is up, and it is good. 28-0, Oak Ridge all over, trouncing the Karns Beavers. 5:21 to go in the second quarter. We'll be back to Oak Ridge in 60 seconds.
Pearson to kick off. Up and up and whistle beat for Karns.
Back atop the hill at Blankenship Field. Alex Myers with you, Mike Sheehan doing color commentary. You're to my right, and a guy to your right, Mike, Coach Hawkins, longtime defensive coach at Farragut High School, back for, I believe, his third year with the Wildcats, under Coach Cummings for 1 year, under Coach Ring now in his second year. That's a man, you're never going to see him look like he's satisfied, but he sure does have to like what he's seen so far.
Yeah, he definitely looks intense right now, like he's still worried. I don't know why, up 28-0.
Intentional short pooch kick lands at the 20. It's fielded, brought up to the 26 before the player is blasted by 27. And who else but Dallas Frent? And he is fired up and feeling it. Dallas, you know, it feels like every team emotionally, Mike, needs one of those emotional leaders, especially as a defensive player. And Dallas Frent is just that.
Well, he stood him up and laid him back on his back. What a great tackle. And Karns, they just keep seeing him backed up. It's 1st and 10 on the 31. Better field position than I thought. But so far, they haven't done much with it. The Oak Ridge defense has really came up strong tonight, Alex Myers.
Again, Karns yet to cross the midfield line. I think this is probably their 5th drive or so. I'm losing count. I'm going to ask my old math teachers, once you get past what I can count on a single hand, I'm in trouble. Here comes the Karns 1st and 10 play. Little flip to the right side, and Jarrell Jemerson and T.J. Hibben are going to bring him down after a gain of about 6. So again, about 5, excuse me. So it's 2nd and 5 again, Mike. Karns pretty consistently, with regularity, getting 5, 6, 7 yards on 1st down, but they don't do anything with that.
I know. After that, the Oak Ridge defense had just buckled them up, and they just can't progress the ball to get a 1st down. Here in the second quarter with 4 minutes, 45 seconds left, they're trailing 28-0. And you know their feelings got to be hurt right now.
2nd and 5, ball on the Beaver 36-yard line. Threet in there at defensive tackle, along with Nate Stevens and Tim Walters at the 2 defensive end positions in this 3-man front. Malik Howard kind of rolling down as an outside linebacker. Quick pass to the outside, makes Stewart miss, makes him miss again, and then Tyree Porter is there to make the tackle. Again, Stewart didn't make the tackle, but his angle forced the wide receiver back inside, and by the time he cut back outside, help had arrived. Oak Ridge defense gang tackling in an elite way tonight.
They're swarming to the ball. The defensive backs are really coming up much faster and you know, stifling the Karns Beavers where they can't get anything going now. Brings up 3rd down and 6 from their own 35.
That last touchdown, I forgot to mention, I'm not very good at this, Mike, was a class of 1989 touchdown. We've missed some 10 Bank of Oak Ridge 1st downs. I apologize for that. I'm a little out of practice here. 3rd and 6. The ball's tipped and falls into the ground. It was tipped, I think, by Howard or Gormley. And then for Oak Ridge, it was Williams in the secondary who nearly picked it off. And I think it was Simon Tutu, the intended receiver. But there was 1 white jersey and about 5 or 6 Cardinal jerseys.
Yeah, and he tipped that ball, and Oak Ridge almost intercepted it. Just couldn't quite get to it. But guess what? The Beavers were having to punt again. Jemerson back deep again for the Wildcats.
Again, they got 5 on 1st down and went backwards. It's 4th and 6 after being 2nd and 5. Karns on 2nd down. Just 2nd and 3rd down, really just nothing going tonight. 4th down. Clock is stopped after the incomplete pass. Oak Ridge has all 3 timeouts. 3:27 on the clock as the snap is off. Oak Ridge in a safe punt return formation. No rushing the quarterback. Jemerson fields it at the 30. Little room, he gets across the 35 to the 40, 45 to midfield, 50, and brought down after a nice return all the way down at the Karns 44-yard line, where Oak Ridge will have it 1st and 10 with 3:14 to go. The Wildcats are set up in business once again.
Absolutely. Thompson Gardner there on the stop for the Beavers to keep him out of the end zone. Great return that time. Wildcats already inside Beaver territory on their own 44 with 3 minutes and 14 seconds left here in the first half, leading 28-0.
Jimerson, it didn't look like he had a ton of room. Just kind of a one-man show, just so quick, so fast, getting north and south on that return. And Oak Ridge is immediately on a Blaine Stansberry hard count. Going to get a man to jump off. It was an outside linebacker for Karns who jumped off sides, and good field position becomes even better. It's 1st and 5. Ball at the 39-yard line of Karns. Wildcats with the ball up 28-0. 3:14 to go before halftime. Remind you to stay tuned. Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show coming up just a few minutes away. Stansberry, hard counts again. This time Karns does not jump. Stansberry looks to Coach Rang, Coach Branson, other offensive staff to get the signal. Porter, the lone man in the backfield, to his left. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. It's Will Presley to the left. And Oak Ridge is going to call a timeout as the play clock was about to run out. Oak Ridge has 3, though, so not a big deal. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. We'll be back to Blankenship Field after this message. Thank you to those sponsors and everyone who sponsors these broadcasts Friday nights. Again, a lot of people don't realize, but a lot of these sponsors, they carry David Cleary and Prep Radio's broadcast through basketball season. This money helps multiple sports, baseball even. So certainly those are appreciated. Please support our sponsors. So it's 1st and 5 from the Karns Beaver 34. This will be the first play from scrimmage from this drive. 3:14 to go, up 28-0. Here come the Wildcats. Stansberry keeps it on the read option, and he's going to have enough for a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. Is there a flag? There is, and I think it's going to be a flag, a holding on the wideout on that far sideline, and I don't know that it was real necessary, and the wideout looks like he kind of knows he did it. So into the ball game will come Peyton Sharp. And so, once again, Mike, after that 10-yard penalty, the Wildcats will start first, and let's see where they mark it, because it's actually going to be 10 yards from the spot, and now the officials are going to discuss it. They have it marked as a 1st and 9, but they might think better of it. Mike, 3 minutes to go here if you're Oak Ridge, and you got a chance to go up 35-0 before half, up 28-0 right now with 3:06 to go. What are you thinking? Is your strategy to kind of run the ball, or your whole playbook in front of you?
I think they're just going to run it out, but we'll see. I don't know. I've been surprised. Blank can throw it, and we'll just have to wait and see what the play call is going to be here.
First down play. Little backwards pass to Jimerson. He can throw if he wants. He's got wide open Will Presley at the 15, 10, 5. Drops it.
Mercy.
Somehow Will Presley just couldn't have a handle on that one. It was a beautiful play. You could see it coming because it was a backwards lateral. Jimerson, with a good arm, got it down there. I thought with enough air for Will Presley to get underneath it. Will so sure-handed. I'm not sure what happened there.
Well, the ball was a little bit wobbly, not taking anything away from him, but it was. And, he was running full speed. It hit him in the hand. I thought he had it, but he dropped it. But unfortunate, but, boy, what a great play call.
It was a great play call, and it puts on film that even these cornerbacks, even when they think Will Presley's coming at them to block, they still can't commit to coming up because he can still become a deep threat. Handoff on 2nd and 9 up the middle behind the right guard. They're going to say he gained 1 yard. So it'll be 3rd and 8 here. Ball on the 42-yard line of Karns. Wildcats trying to strike again before half. 2:35 and counting here before half. And you wonder if this might be 4-down territory with Karns' inability to really do anything. I don't see Derek Rang wanting to punt the ball here if they're not able to get it. So with that being said, Mike, you think you're playing with 2 downs here?
Yeah, obviously so. I think they're gonna go for it here. You wait and see. I believe Blaine's gonna throw it again. We'll see. 3rd and 8, ball on the 42.
Stansbury stops, drops back, across the middle to Howard, 30, 25, stiff arms a man who can't bring him down for 7 more yards, and it might have taken a face mask to get him down. The ball is spotted. It was just kind of a crossing route across the middle. Blaine Stansbury had all day to throw. Great job by the offensive line. Howard got it across the middle and then turned into a runner, got upfield and across the 20 down to the 18-yard line. I think he was only brought down because of a face mask. There was a flag at the end of the play, and let's see what it is. Malik Howard looks like he's almost flexing, so I'm going to say horse collar. Okay, it wasn't a flex. He was pointing to his horse collar. Flex on him if you want, though, Malik. Why not? It's 1st and 10, and actually 1st and goal now, as that 10-yard penalty will move it inside the 10. So 1st and goal for the Wildcats. 1:58 to go. Wildcats still with 2 timeouts, up 28-0. Moving towards the big old scoreboard on the north end zone. 3 receivers left. It's Howard, Presley, and Jimerson. 1 to the right. That's Braden Sharp. Tailback next to Stansbury is Porter. Karns showing blitz, and there's a penalty before the play. We'll see. I didn't see a lot of motion either way.
I thought he said timeout. Let's see. Someone may have called a timeout before the play started, Alex. No?
No, there is a flag and it's going to be against Karns. So apparently someone did flinch because it's an encroachment call against Karns. So, again, a bad situation turned worse for the Beavers. It's
Absolutely.
1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Wildcats bringing that power formation. Malik Howard at tight end. We'll see if they run or Coach Rang wants to toss it in the air this time. Stansbury whispers to Porter and says, flip sides for me. Porter goes to his right. Porter turns into a blocker as the toss goes to Jimerson, cutting across the 5 to the 3, and he's going to be tackled at the 2-yard line. Not a play you see, a flip to the wideout down inside the goal line, but it nearly worked for the Wildcats. However, not the worst thing in the world. It's 2nd and goal from the 2. 1:10 to go. Oak Ridge trying to score and not leave Karns any time on the clock.
Yeah, Blaine faked a handoff to Porter up the middle, and then Jimerson kind of went right and almost got in, but Karns Beavers made a good stop that time. Brings up 2nd down and 2nd from the 2.
And looks like Karns wants a timeout. Let's leave it right here, actually. I would hate to miss a touchdown play. And David Cleary, wherever you are in Atlanta, I know you hate to hear those words. We'll keep it right here. But that's the first time I've done it all game. I want to also mention, thanks to that penalty, it was a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge 1st down that set Oak Ridge up. What are you thinking here? It looks like Richie Ferreira might be coming to the ball game. You think this is a Porter run up the middle, 54 seconds to go, 2nd goal from the 2. What say you if you were the offensive coordinator?
I'm going to give it to Blaine. I'm going to let Blaine take it in. He deserved to get in tonight. But, that's just a guess on my part. I don't know. But I think that'd be the right thing to do, let Blaine have it and see what he can do with it. He had it a minute ago and got a good play, but they had a penalty and it came back. So it's about time Blaine ran one in. We'll just have to wait and see. Wildcats coming out of the huddle now. Really looking good here in the first half with only 54.5 seconds up, 28-0. I am in shock.
Talked about Clary not liking me holding it here. We know we got a lot of advertisements we got to get in, but I do want to give a shout out and praise to David Clary for working to get these games streamed. Obviously, last couple weeks we haven't been able to get those, and it's not been his fault. I'll say that. Is the handoff this time up the middle. Porter fighting, clawing, scratching, and he gets inside the 1, but not quite to the goal line, and that's okay, though. 45 seconds and counting. Oak Ridge with it 3rd and goal from the half-yard line. Moving quickly to the line, still in that shotgun formation. Power formation with multiple blockers in the backfield. Handoff. Porter. No. Oh, what a fake by Blaine Stansberry. Nobody home on the left side, and Mike Sheehan, you called it. Stansberry trots it in for the touchdown, and Oak Ridge with a 5-touchdown lead shortly before half.
He deserved that. I mean, he made a great play inside. Everybody went to tackle Porter. There wasn't a soul when he got outside. There wasn't a Karns Beaver within 5 yards of Blaine Stansberry, and he puts it in from 1 yard out. The Wildcats take a 34-0 lead.
Here's the snap. Kick is up and good. We're going to take a 60-second timeout before we come out to close this first half from Blankenship Field.
I'm in shock. We're playing a lot better than I thought we would. A lot better. I didn't envision this, but I'm tickled to death.
28 seconds to go in this one as Pearson approaches the ball. He kicks it off, and it's going to fall into the end zone. Big shocker there. Not. Wildcats up 35-0, and as Karns gets ready to close out this half offensively, Mike, you were mentioning while we were at the break, if you're watching on YouTube or listening via Prep Radio, you might have heard the conversation. Mike, you expected the Wildcats to come out strong, but you did not see this coming.
No, I did not. You know, I knew they wanted to defend their home field. They want to win this region, and it all starts right here tonight against Karns. And, boy, they came out with a big statement, Alec Myers. They have played great here in the first half. Up 35-0. I am in total shock.
New running back in the game for Karns. He's going to get the handoff, and he is going to get a welcome card greeted by Tim Walters. And that's probably going to close out the half. It was number 20 on the carry. Karns does not have a number 20 listed on the roster. We have. And that's going to do it for half. So the Wildcats with a incredible, just absolutely an incredible showing in the first half, up 35-0 over the 2-1 Karns Beavers. As we take it to half from Blankenship Field, we'll be back in 3 minutes with the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance halftime show.
I hear you.
That's even a thing.
I hear you. It was a butterfly. It was doing this, wasn't it? Wasn't it a flutter ball?
Yeah, it was, yeah. I'd still say, yeah, I was going to say.
Oh, he hit him in a bad place, right?
I'd still say he would tell you probably that he should have had it. It was a good play.
Yeah. What are we doing? 3 minutes?
3 minutes, yeah.
And then what are we doing?
You want to do a scoring recap for 3 minutes?
Yes, sir.
And then we'll take another break.
How many? When I get through, you want me to take it to break?
Yeah, just say we're going to take a 3-minute timeout, and I'll just give the score again, get a 3-minute timeout.
Okay, good enough.
They just now started the clock.
The Beaver band here tonight.
here at the press box. Would you please welcome the Oak Ridge High School Marching Band, conducted by drum majors Giada Sacatano and Addison Steele, performing their 2024 competition show, The Money Sold. Ladies and gentlemen, please sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field. Mike Sheehan has your first half scoring summary. Mike, I hope you've done your breathing exercises. You got a lot of talking to do.
Yeah, I do. 5 touchdowns this first half. I'm really excited about it. It's one of the, by far and away, the best start the Wildcats have had at home in quite a while. And start the game off with 5 minutes and 58 seconds. In the first quarter, Blaine Stansbury threw a 12-yard pass to Malik Howard. Malik made a great catch and broke 2 tackles, ran into the end zone, and the Wildcats went up 6-0. Then Eli Pearson came in. The kick was good, and the Wildcats led 7-0. Then with 1 minute and 40 seconds still left in the first quarter, Blaine Stansbury lined up from his own 30-yard line and threw a beautiful pass to Will Presley. Will made some very impressive moves. If you can watch this on the highlight, he is impressive. He made 2 people miss and outran everybody to the goal, 70 yards to put the Wildcats up 13-0. Then Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights and ended the first quarter leading 14-0. Excuse me. Then with 7:23 in the second quarter, Demillion Porter, after the Wildcats drove the ball all the way down to the 1-yard line, drove it in from 1 yard out, and the Wildcats went up 20-0. Then Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, although it was almost blocked, and the Wildcats led 21-0. Then with 5 minutes and 21 seconds left in the first half, Malik Howard hauled in a Blaine Stansbury pass from 20 yards out, made a tremendous run, made a couple of people miss, ran it into the end zone, and the Wildcats went up 27-0. Eli Pearson, Mr. Dependable, came in and kicked it between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 28-0. And for the 5th time of the night, with 28.7 seconds left, Blaine Stansbury ran it around left end, untouched, and the Wildcats went up 34-0. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats leading this contest 35-0. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Be right back. Have a great evening.
The
before we go over to Mark Hayes with the stats, we're going to give you just a couple of moments of Wild Band music as they perform here at Blankenship Field.
Are you ready? Are you ready? Mark's ready.
Mark Hayes here at halftime, where Oak Ridge leads the Karns Beavers by a score of 35-0. Looking at the first half statistics, first for Oak Ridge, they're led on the ground by Demillion Porter. He has 62 yards on 8 carries. Blaine Stansberry has carried the ball twice for 7 yards. So as a team, Wildcats have rushed the ball 10 times, gaining 69 yards on the ground. Both Demillion Porter and Blaine Stansberry each have a rushing touchdown as well. Passing for the Wildcats are led by their starting quarterback, Blaine Stansberry. He's 9 of 13 for 198 yards. He has 3 touchdown passes. The long tonight is for 70 yards, and that was for a touchdown as well. Receiving the 70-yard touchdown pass was Will Presley. He's got 3 receptions for a total of 107 yards. As I said, he does have 1 touchdown. Malik Howard, 3 receptions for 45 yards. 2 of the 3 receptions for him have been touchdowns. Demillion Porter has a 39-yard reception, and Jarrell Jamerson has 2 receptions for 7 yards. So as a team, the Wildcats on the ground, as I said, 69 yards on 10 carries. That's an average of 6.9 yards per carry. Through the air, Wildcats 9 of 13 for 198 yards for a total offense tonight of 267 yards. Wildcats 7 first downs in the first half. They've been penalized 6 times for 55 yards. Now looking at the Karns Beavers, they're led on the ground by Carson Paul. He has 8 carries for 20 yards. That's an average of 2.5 yards per carry. Avery Westerfeld has carried the ball twice for 8 yards. Let's see, Austin Slover has 1 carry for -2 yards. So as a team, the Beavers have rushed the ball 12 times for 26 yards. That's an average of 2.2 yards per carry. Through the air, Austin Slover, the starting quarterback for the Beavers, he's 5 of 7 for 13 yards. Receiving for the Beavers, they're led by Avery Westerfield. He has 4 completions for 7 yards. Warda Apiat has a 6-yard reception. So as a team, the Beavers have 26 yards on the ground on 12 carries. They have 13 yards through the air on 5 receptions for a total offense tonight. 9 yards. They have 2 first downs in the first half. They've also been penalized 6 times, but this for 60 yards. So look at the teams side by side. Rushing yards, Oak Ridge 69, Karns 26. Passing yards, Oak Ridge with 198, Karns 13. Total offense, Oak Ridge has 267 total offensive yards in the first half, Karns 39. First downs, Oak Ridge has 7, Karns 2. Penalties, both teams have 6 penalties apiece. Oak Ridge has 55 penalty yards, Karns has 60. Again, this is Mark H, where Oak Ridge is on top at the half by a score of 35-0. And we'll be back after this 3-minute timeout.
here at Blankenship Field. There's 2 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock. The big question that really is probably not even a question, as Karns their band is on the field right now playing. Will they add 3 minutes? Mike, what's your guess?
Oh, I know what it's going to be. Add another 3 minutes added to it.
And it will give us an opportunity. David Clare will be very happy to give us some more commercials, so we'll get to those momentarily. But I would be remiss, speaking of David, if I didn't say one of his favorite things to say every year when he played Karns. We're listening to who? The mighty band from Beaverland.
There you go.
I about butchered it. The mighty band from Beaverland. Mike, you have some scores of interest.
Yeah, number one score of interest, at least to me, is the Clinton Dragons are up at halftime 13-0 over the Campbell County Cougars. Anderson County High School up 14-0 over Fulton. Cleveland up 25-0 over the Oak Ridge Wildcats. October the 25th opponent, Farragut Admirals, nothing. 25-0 Cleveland. Last week's Powell 21 up over Heritage 21-0 in the second quarter. And Maryville 21-0 over West. And yeah, I just want to make a quick comment. I am so proud of Alec Myers. I heard today that he is now the youngest boys club director since Lawrence Hahn. And that is something to be said. And congratulations, Alec, on that promotion.
Well, thank you, Mike. I appreciate that. I appreciate the opportunity. And, I had never thought about it in that terms. But obviously following the footsteps of many, many legends, including Erin Webb, who's been doing it for years, and she's been nice enough and yet gracious enough to kind of train me. So I'm still kind of going into that role, but certainly playing down there when I was a young kid and going back there and being on the board for the last few years, it's an honor is an understatement. So I appreciate you saying that, Mike. It means a lot. And David Clary did correct me. It is the Big Blue Band from Beaverland. And again, speaking of David, we appreciate he's unable to be here tonight, but he's done wonders to try to make this broadcast happen. Obviously, the first couple games we were not able, and it really wasn't to anything we could control, but we weren't able to get the broadcast on air. Powell, quite frankly, was charging an inordinate amount of money, and Jefferson County, it wasn't able to happen either. But certainly we're hoping to get these on YouTube and live streaming them for the rest of the year, we hope. But certainly want to thank David, his efforts throughout the season, and here tonight getting us on air. So we appreciate that. Mike, they have added 3 minutes to the clock, so we're going to take a 3-minute break. When we come back, we'll have second half action from Blankenship Field.
Oh, gosh. I just had to sneak
That's a
that
pretty
in
good shtick,
there.
isn't it? That's a pretty good shtick, isn't it?
Oak Ridge Business Center was founded on the simple premise that if you provide good quality products surrounded by sincere and knowledgeable service, people will feel good about the work you have done. They welcome new patients and invite you to call them for an appointment. We are confident that you'll be glad you did. Oak Ridge Business Center is a proud sponsor of Wildcat football.
the official sports medicine providers for the Oak Ridge Wildcats. For more information or to schedule an appointment, please call their office or visit their website at www.kocortho.com.
Hey, man. You have no idea how much I enjoy doing this.
Same here.
You are the great. You're just the best. Huh?
You know, the thing is, I have more fun doing this now than I was trying to pursue it.
He's injured, Alec. He's going to have to come out of the game. There's a injury timeout on the field.
Well, we're going to take one with him. We're going to take a 30-second timeout. Hopefully he'll be okay. When we come back, we'll have more third quarter action. Wildcats up 35-0 in the third quarter.
He got tackled pretty hard. Daggone. There's a roach in here. Look at that. Damn roach in here.
What?
A roach. A silver.
That's disgusting.
A silverfish. Yeah, it was just crawling right here on my paper.
Jeez.
Nasty.
It's pretty gross.
Yeah. I can't get over these drones. They flying that thing all over the place. Good to know. We're back online.
We're back on air, and we're also back on YouTube. For those of you who may have flipped over to prepradio.com or WIJV, because of our YouTube stream issue, we appear to be back online. So if you lost the link, please try to search us again. We want to say a big thank you to Mark Hayes, Ben George, and Shauna Hayes. Along with doing camera work and trying to do stats, they're also trying to play IT department, and they're doing a terrific job at it. We thank them so very much. Thankfully, it looked like the player that was shaken up for Karns is going to be okay. He was able to walk off under his own power to the applaud of both fan bases here at Blankenship Field. So with 5:22 to go here in the third, the Wildcats up 35-0. Karns has the ball, 1st and 10 at their own 34-yard line. Two receivers to the right, two to the left, in this same formation that Karns has been in primarily the entire ball game. They've got a running back to the quarterback's left side. Quarterback is Austin Slover. Running back coming in motion. Two backs now, one to either side of the quarterback. They're going to give it to that man who came in motion. Left side handoff, and he is stopped in the backfield. They'll give him the line of scrimmage, but not an inch more. Wildcat defense remaining solid. Everything, it's like pulling teeth to gain a yard against this defense.
Amani Bishop there on the stop for the Wildcats, and he just did get back to the line of scrimmage. Brings up now 2nd down and a long 9. They're calling it, no. 2nd down and 9, I will say, at the 36.
They gave him 2 yards
Beavers.
on that, Mike. He didn't get.
I know.
I don't understand. They're just giving him an extra yard or two every play. Not a foot, a yard. 2nd and 8, we'll call it. They'll call it. And pass is nearly intercepted. They tried to throw it over the outstretched hand of Jarrell Jimerson, who is playing underneath the wideout. They got it over him, but could not get it. It was too far over, I'll say.
Yeah.
It was over his intended receiver.
Yeah, it was overthrown. There's no way he could catch it. It was just too high. His accuracy just not quite there. Blaine Stansberry, he is not.
Trips to the right on 3rd and 8 for Karns. Ball on their own 36-yard line. 3:40 to go here in the third quarter, and they just hand it off up the middle. I don't understand. There's not. I don't know. To me, I understand you don't want to turn the ball over. I understand, but Mike, to me, if I'm a Karns player, it just doesn't instill confidence, and I'm not a fan. I mean, to me, it seems like Karns is throwing in the towel, and I understand that they're not winning this ball game. I'm not asking them to throw Hail Marys every play, but 3rd and 8 is not 3rd and 20. Why not at least try to pick up something and give yourself some sort of confidence?
JT Gormley there on the stop for the 3rd time in a row. JT is playing lights out tonight.
Here's the snap. Here's the punt from the 23 where the punter releases it. It's
Sure.
going to be
Look out.
fair
Look
caught
out.
by Jemerson, who's then
Oh,
hammered, and that's going to be a 15-yard
Yeah,
penalty.
it sure is.
Flag on the play.
He did not give him any leeway. How he caught that ball, I don't know, but that's a 15-yard penalty because he hit him as soon as he caught the ball and laid him on his back, even though he had signaled clearly a fair catch.
That'll be kick-catch interference. Jemerson with a just toughness, a play
It'll
of
be a
toughness and
15-yard personal
concentration.
foul. Oh, they're calling it a face mask, Alec.
What? Mike, they didn't call catch interference. They called a
man.
incidental face mask, which is a 5-yard penalty. It should have been a 15. How on earth do you miss that call? It doesn't affect the outcome of this game. And I take back what I said. This crew came out of halftime, and I don't know what's going on, but that call doesn't – I mean, that's one of the easiest calls you'll ever see. There actually was no flag. They didn't even call a penalty for the kick-catch interference. New center in the ballgame for the Wildcats nonetheless, and that is Torrey Holt. Holt into the ballgame at center. They're going to run it to the left side with Howard, and there's some extracurricular activity directly in front of the official by a Karns Beaver. No call.
And I want to mention, excuse me, Alec, that Parker Free is now the quarterback for the Wildcats. So Blaine Stansberry getting a rest here. Wildcats up 35-0. Great to see Parker Free out there.
Parker Free, we'll try to get some other names in as it looks like kind of a wholesale substitution here, as most of the line is
And Jermichael
second
Howard,
string, I
running
think.
back.
Howard. No, Parker Free keeps the handoff, makes a couple defenders miss, lowers his shoulder, and moves the ball forward to back to basically the original line of scrimmage, which was the 41-yard line. And so it'll be 3rd and 10 here for this free-led offense. Angel in the ball game for the Wildcats at wideout, along with Adam Washington, Braden Sharp, again Howard the running back, Free the quarterback, and at tight end instead of Malik Howard, it is Caden Stewart. 28 seconds. This could be the last play of the third quarter. 3rd and 10 for the Wildcats. Free drops back, looks right immediately, overthrows his man, and it's nearly intercepted.
Ooh,
he was looking for Angel as he got hit on the release. It looked like a Karns Beaver, Truvon Ellsbury, tipped the ball. And even though it's an incomplete pass because of the 35-point lead, Oak Ridge takes this one to the end of the third quarter. It'll be 4th down when we return. We'll be back in 60 seconds to Blankenship Field.
That is the end of the third quarter.
This game will be over about 9:15.
Earliest it's been in a long time. Moving. When the clock runs constantly, this is what happens.
Welcome back to Blankenship Field as we sit atop Jack Armstrong Stadium. Alex Myers, Mike Sheehan with you. I want to thank all of our cameramen, Mark and Shauna Hayes for doing stats, Ben George doing the camera up to the left. Up top, if you're watching via YouTube, that's Ben George's camera work that you're seeing. As into the ballgame to punt, I think for the first time this year, it's Damian Sixtos Rodriguez. His punt is off, and it's a long line drive spiraling kick. It hits and takes a Karns bounce, and it's going to be touched by Dallas Frent at the 33-yard line, and that's where Karns will take over. So if you're Oak Ridge, you'd like to see, as you're going to get some substitutions into the game, you want to see that there's not a let-up. You'd like to keep this shutout, certainly, if you're Coach Hawkins and this defensive staff.
Absolutely. And it's good to see these younger players getting to play. I mean, we experience. Somebody can get hurt in a heartbeat, and if you got the experience and field presence, there's no substitution for having some playing time.
Into the ball game up front, Carson Nevins. T-Ray Threet is still in there for the Wildcats. He's a starter. Nate Stevens, he plays a lot as well.
Eubanks.
And
Ethan Eubanks.
Ethan Eubanks, also Amani Bishop.
Yep.
And a few others. Hopefully we can get them in a moment. Quick flip out to the left side, and Bishop's there along with a couple other Wildcats. He did a lot of running, but only gained about 7 yards. Say only, but again, quick hitter gets Karns. It's amazing for a team that hasn't got the ball across midfield how well Karns is probably, if you take the average on first down, Karns has probably done better on first down than Oak Ridge's offense has.
Yeah,
but it's their inability to move it on second and third that's hurt them.
The first half stat of them only having 37-yard rushing shocked me to no end.
Quick handoff inside goes to Carson Paul, and he's wrapped up by a host of Wildcats, including Caden Stewart.
And Nate Stevens there on the stop.
Richie Ferreira in there, also number 44 for Oak Ridge. We don't have his name but on the roster. Dallas Sprint still in there. Williams still in there. The entire secondary is the same. Also Porter and Jimerson. Looks like Dominic Fields is number 44. I apologize. Mike Sheehan, you had a more updated roster than I did. Eagle Eye Sheehan, as the third down pass was incomplete. So again, first down, a gain of 8. Second and third down, nothing going. And with 9:35 and a continuing running clock, it's 4th and 2 from the 41-yard line for Karns, and we're going to go for it. And why not? I would be highly disappointed from a competition standpoint if they didn't at this point. But you wonder, does Karns throw this or not? Play clock has not started, inexplicably. The play has been over for 20 seconds, and it's still at 40. So unfortunately for the Wildcats, Karns' quarterback gets to go all the way to his quarterback, or his coach, on the sideline, come all the way back, and it still hasn't started. 4th down play. They can take all the time in the world, and they will, because, again, the play clock has not started. And finally, Karns is going to have to take a timeout. Why not? I don't know why you call a timeout, Mike. Clock wasn't running against you. So we'll take one with him. Just a 30-second timeout. We'll come back with 4th and 2 coming up. Speaking of Laura Lynn Green, we appreciate her for sponsoring our halftime show and our postgame show, which will be coming up immediately following this ball game. 4th and 2 from their 41-yard line. Here's Karns with a power formation. 2 up backs, a tailback. Handoff straight up the middle. He's not going to get it. He's not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. A host of Wildcats led by, and now it looks like there's going to be a penalty against Oak Ridge. It looks like an Oak Ridge player and a Karns player got a little scrappy after the play. However, I think it was after the play. If it's after the play, the Wildcats will be penalized, but it'll still be their ball. I think that's the case. We have to hope that the ball wasn't still in play when the penalty was thrown.
Well, it's going back against the – oh, wait a minute. He's getting ready to mark it off against the Wildcats. I think it was an excessive celebration. But I'm not. Oh, personal foul against Oak Ridge. Didn't see that coming. Oh, offsetting personal fouls, offsetting penalties, Alec.
And it is a first down Wildcats, which means, as I thought, that play, the infraction rather, happened after the conclusion of the fourth down
Right,
play.
right.
Terrific stop. I saw several. I mean, about half the Oak Ridge defense was in there on the stop. One of the numbers I saw in there was big 67. That's Nate Stevens. So
Yeah, they stacked it up big time. Everybody was right inside the linebackers, all the up linemen, even the cornerbacks were up tight. So Karns didn't stand a chance of getting that first down.
sophomore quarterback Parker Free, an incredible, excellent young baseball player in his own right, in at quarterback. Handoff, delayed handoff up the middle to Howard. 35, 30, down to the 25, and I think he fell forward to the 23-yard line. They're going to call it 24. Great play by Howard, a little delayed handoff, and a great job by that offensive line.
Absolutely. There's a big hole there for Howard to run through, and he just kept driving his legs and moving it on down. They're right down to the 24-yard line. 1st and 10, 6:50 seconds left in the ball game. Wildcats up 35-0.
At the 24-yard line. And somebody wants timeout. Who wants it? Karns. We want one too. Brian, we'll take one back at the studio. 30 seconds from now, we'll be back to Blankenship Field.
I'd like to inform you of some upcoming games. On Monday the 16th, we have freshman and JV football against Karns right here at home. On the 16th, we have volleyball against West here at home. On the 17th, girls soccer, JV and varsity away.
We're back to Blankenship Field. Remind you that all 4 of the next games for Oak Ridge will be right here at Blankenship Field. So if you didn't make it out tonight, try to get out here for one of those next 4 ball games. Weather's cooling down. Great time to be at Blankenship Field. Delayed handoff, same play as last play. And again, it's a great run from Howard. Great blocking on that left side as see some new faces into the ball game at offensive line. 2nd down and about 4 after that run. Into the ball game up front for Oak Ridge. Left tackle is Gabe Arrington. Left guard is Malachi Bonner. He's seen some starting reps this year for Oak Ridge. Number 58 is center. We mentioned him earlier, Torrey Holt. 63 is the right guard, and that is Hudson Lee. And then at right tackle, remains in the ballgame, starter for Oak Ridge, Ethan Eubanks. 2 receivers right, 1 to the left. Handoff again, Howard up the middle across the 15, and he's going to be hit and taken down about the. Boy, that's just not a. I don't like that spot, but it is enough for a 10 Bank of Oak Ridge first down. 2nd one of this drive, we should mention. We'll see if they can get into the end zone. Clock still ticking, under 5:30 to play here in the 4th quarter. Oak Ridge up 35-0. Scoring summary will be the exact same, at least at this point. It's the exact same as it was at halftime. This is their same score, and again, this half is a much shorter half as the clock has been running. Late substitution coming onto the field now for Karns on the defense. It may have been an equipment malfunction. Karns has got 10 guys on the field. There comes the 11th man, and Parker Free is ready to go. He doesn't have to wait on him. Now he actually did. I apologize. So he gets the go-ahead from the referee, and now here we go. 4:55 left. Here comes a snap. Delayed handoff to Howard again, and after running that Steve Spurrier style about 3 times in a row, Karns has finally figured it out. And I'd say we'll see a different play on 2nd and 10.
Miles butts alone on the tackle for the Beavers that time, David.
4:35 to go in the 4th quarter from Blankenship Field. Wildcats marching. The bunch of reserves, guys that don't get as many opportunities on Friday nights, trying to make their imprint on this game and trying to get this ball into the end zone. Led by sophomore quarterback Parker Free. 2nd and 13. Handoff one more time to Howard. Thought he may have been down. Karns did as well, but he wasn't. They say he caught himself before he slipped on the turf, and he's got it across the 10-yard line down to the 9, where it will be 3rd and 5. Out of the ball game for Oak Ridge was Michael Finstad. He was in the ball game. And Braden Sharp comes back in. Braden, a pretty sure-handed young wide receiver for Oak Ridge. He's in there with Angel and Adam Washington. 3rd and 5, Mike, run, pass. Parker Free is a capable runner, even at quarterback as well, maybe even a little bit quicker than Blaine Stansberry, and we've seen Blaine be a very capable runner.
Yeah, he's a very good runner. I've seen him, Parker, run the ball before, and it wouldn't surprise me if he tried to get outside to the end.
They've got him rolling out to the right. Howard a blocker. All day to throw, and he just sails that one into the backstop, to use a baseball reference, as that one bounces over the wrought iron fence and out of bounds. It'll be 4th and about 6. 4th and 5, excuse me. And let's see if Oak Ridge elects to bring the field goal unit on or if they just go for it. I think it's probably the right decision to keep the offense on the field.
I think they're going to go for it, you know.
3:03 to go in this one. Free, barking out signals, pointing out linebackers, moving places for the Beaver defense. Free, hard count to no avail. Turns back, looks at his home sideline to Coach Derek Rang to see what the signal is. And let's see the play here. Play clock is not running again. The game clock's down to 2:43. Free, looking, fade to the left corner of the end zone. That's Adam Washington.
Oh, out of bounds.
He hung onto the ball, but he was not able to get his feet down. Good throw, just a tiny bit long, and Adam Washington with a great effort just couldn't. If they had about 2 more inches of grass in the end zone, that's a touchdown. Instead, it's a turnover on down. So the Beavers will take over 1st and 10 from their own 9-yard line with 2:23. Now, Mike, I've seen a lot of great defensive performances in my lifetime, and maybe I've seen it before. I'm not sure I've ever at any level seen a team not even cross the 50-yard line one time in a single game, and I don't think Karns has done it tonight.
In my remembrance of what's transpired, I don't think they have either. Tremendous defensive effort by the Wildcats tonight against the Karns Beavers. You know, this is a pretty good team. They beat William Blount, and they beat Hardin Valley. And so, you know, there's nobody slouch. The Wildcats have come very determined football tonight.
Little option pitch play out here to the right side. Karns still with some of their starters in. Oak Ridge with a couple maybe in the defensive backfield. It looks like freshman Dylan Woody. Just a freshman. Dylan Woody is in there playing safety. Also Jacob Tabarez. LaDanian Pendergrass. And Blake Woody for the Wildcats. I don't think we've mentioned their names tonight, but they're in there as well. Also, number 47, Gabe Nodden. 2nd down, carry off the left side, and he's going to be tackled after maybe a yard. And right there, it's the Oliver Springs transfer on the tackle, Carson Nivens. Oak Ridge getting a lot of young faces in. I see Jaquan Huntington into the ball game.
Carson Nivens there on the stop for the Wildcats that time, David. Listen to me, Alec Myers.
I've been called a lot worse. Probably will before this game's over by many of those listening, and I don't blame them one bit. 3rd down and 6, and a player's going to be wrapped up, I thought, in the backfield. It was Blake Woody, the first to make the stop, or the first to get hands on him. He escaped that tackle, and then it was 3 or 4, we'll call it a host of Wildcats to make the tackle. 30 seconds left in this ball game, 29-28, clock's running. Karns doesn't have to snap the ball. It's 4th down. Why not get one more playoff? But you obviously, we'll see here. Backup quarterback in for Karns. We'll see what they do here. 12 seconds on the clock. They're going to run the ball, and he's going to be blasted to the backfield. For Oak Ridge, it was Dominic Vasquez and Blake Woody on the tackle. Nice to see those guys get some love from the fans, and why not? 35-0, the final score here from Blankenship Field. Mike, what a ball game, what a bounce-back game. Oak Ridge, the program needed this win.
Yeah, pitched a shutout 35-0 over the Karns Beavers to start the region off on a very positive note. Tickled to death for the performance by the Wildcats tonight, and a real exciting start to the home standoff. Next week, McMinn County right here at Blankenship Field at 7 o'clock. Hope everyone can come out that will. And it's a very exciting football team, the Oak Ridge Wildcats.
Thank you so much, Mike. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have Coach Derek Rang and interviews on the field from Blankenship.
Karns travels to Heritage High School with wish them luck when they take on the Mountaineers.
Hey.
I was wanting them JVs to score, man.
Oh, I did too. Dadgummit. Just wasn't meant to be. What a shame.
We'll see you.
Have a good evening. Have a great weekend, guy.
You too. Oh, did I tell you I was retiring?
Yeah, you did. I'm proud of you. Good.
Yes.
Good for you. It's about time.
45 years is too damn.
That's too long, yeah.
Play both ways. Do you have a favorite side? One-on-one coverage. You confident when you cross the way and only one guy corner is significantly small. This doubt. How much did you guys need to come out and not win the game, but so in convincing fashion? Play, congratulations. Here, as JT. Welcome in, JT. It's great.
Oh, you didn't have to bring it back.
With that game being so close, how much does it mean to you after you missed that first game?
9, 8, 27. I didn't have many numbers to write down.
Can you believe we've won this game like that? I mean, they just played great tonight. I don't know what.
So it's very important to
Yeah, really.
Keep the
And they didn't even score.
keep
Karns
everybody-
didn't even score.
calls,
Never got close. Never got off their side.
make sure everybody's doing
I'm
their job.
loving it. I am.
We got Mac
Well over 200 yards.
next week.
Yeah.
Got our officials.
It was 37
Gonna get Frank kicked out of the game.
Isn't that the truth? Hope not. Anyway.
across the
That was ridiculous last
line.
year.
into your
Very poor officiated game.
Piss poor played to us too.
Yeah.
Your sister needs an oxy in her head.
Fair oven.
Tell her I love her. I'll see y'all.
I'll do it for you. Thank you.
You're welcome anytime. You know that.
guys feel? What did you feel like really enabled you guys to have so much success? Because at no point in this game, really on any play, did it ever feel like it had a shot offensively. Did you guys feel that out there? And if so, what gave you that confidence?
I feel first kind of have a chip on our shoulder, and we've working hard on the mistakes we made and strengthening our weaknesses, and together as a team. As
What Blankenship is much will keep State Farm post-game show. We're going to talk to Coach Rain momentarily. Coach Derek Rain joining me now. Coach, obviously, big win tonight, 1-0 in region play. I thought last week the emphasis going in was you got to start strong.
Yeah, we obviously it was a big night. You know, the home opener, region game to start the season. The way the schedule fell, you know, it's mid-September. Now we're just not having the home opener. So proud of the kids, the team. We come out. We started fast. We stayed fast in the first half, 35-0, and then when you get up 35-0, you're just it's kind of second half's kind of a wash. So just proud of the team. We're 1-0 in the region. That's big for us. I feel like since I've been here, we've always played better at home. I think there's a lot of more pride, when you want to defend Blankenship and everything. So it was big, and we have 5 straight of these. We have 5 straight home games. So hopefully we can do this every home game, I guess, Alex. It'd be nice, yeah.
Absolutely. No complaints from us if we could do that. Malik Howard caught a touchdown pass in the first game. I think only had 1 reception. Didn't have a lot of targets, I don't think, last game. It seemed like there was a concerted effort from you and Blaine to get him the ball, especially on that first drive, that touchdown, splitting him out at wide out. Did you guys see a matchup, or is that just something you want to do more of?
Well, we did that against Jeff County, and he caught a touchdown. And then that was kind of an emphasis, just to, hey, let's get Malik out there. He's a big body. They played soft coverage, and we just kind of threw a hitch out there, and he was able to split the guy and go score. And then as far as the screen game goes, he's ran that in the preseason. And, we didn't have a lot of plays at Powell. It was kind of 3 and out. And we were just in a lot better rhythm today. And Malik and Will, Jarrell, DeMillion, they were all big players in the passing game. And everybody just kind of had their turn playing in space and kind of having their plays designed to them.
Offense, defense, special teams. You even got some young guys in. Total team victory today. Congratulations, Coach. What do you take from a game like this, though? Obviously, there's not a lot to build on in the second half because you really didn't do much, at least from a casual fan. How do you use this to get better after you're 1-0?
Well, we just got to keep building. It's going to be a long year. Obviously, we know we're 1-0 in the region. That's big for us. We just got to go week to week. Just try to, get better fundamentally every week. The more games that we play, we've been in 2 games, a very stressful opener situation. And obviously, we played a really good team at Powell, didn't play well. But now it's like about building towards the future. And I think if we can just come every week, work on our fundamentals, get game experience, we want to see this team improve by the time the season's over. And I think that's what we have a chance to do now. We have a chance to improve every week and by the end of the season be a dangerous Oak Ridge football team.
Absolutely, Coach. Congratulations on the win. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
We're going to back to Brian at the 3-minute timeout. When we come, recap and stats and a whole lot more on the Laura Lynn Green State Farm Insurance postgame show live from Oak Ridge.
Mark Hayes here at Blankenship Field, where Oak Ridge is victorious tonight over the Karns Beaver by a final score of 35-0. Look at the statistics for the game. First for Oak Ridge, they were led on the ground by Demillion Porter. He had 62 yards on 8 carries. Jermichael Howard had 29 yards on 6 carries. Blaine Stansberry carried the ball 3 times for 7 yards, and Parker Free had a 4-yard carry. So on the ground, the Wildcats ran the ball 18 times, gaining 102 yards on the ground. That's an average of 5.7 yards per carry as a team. Through the air, Wildcat starting quarterback, Blaine Stansberry, he's 9 of 15 for 198 yards. His long was 70 yards. The long pass did go to Will Presley. He had 3 total receptions for 107 yards. Malik Howard had 3 receptions as well, but for 45 yards. Demillion Porter had a 39-yard reception, and Jarrell Jimerson had 2 receptions for 7 yards. So as a team, as I said, the Wildcats, one thing I did not mention was Parker Free came in as quarterback late in the ball game. He was 0 for 3 passing. So as a team, the Wildcats rushed the ball 18 times for 102 yards. Through the air, they were 9 of 18 for 198 yards for a total offense of exactly 300 yards tonight. They had 9 first downs in the ball game, penalized 6 times for 55 yards. So that's the same of what they had in the first half. So no penalties for the Wildcats in the second half, other than the offsetting penalties they had late in the ball game. Now looking at Karns, they were led on the ground by Carson Paul. He had 20 yards on 10 carries. Number 20, we do not have his number. I apologize for that. Carried the ball 6 times for 15 yards. Avery Westerfield, he had 10 yards on 3 carries. Alex Idle carried the ball 1 time for no gain. Austin Slover had 1 carry for -2 yards, and Chris Boyce had a carry for -3 yards. So as a team, the Karns Beavers rushed the ball 22 times, gaining 40 yards on the ground. Through the air, their starting quarterback, Austin Slover, 8 of 12 for 34 yards. Coming in late was Stiles for the Beavers. He was 1 of 1 for -3 yards. So as a team passing, the Beavers were 9 of 13 for 31 yards. Receiving for the Beavers, they were led by Avery Westfield. He had 22 yards on 6 receptions. Ben Stiles had a 6-yard reception. Order Opiet had a 6-yard reception. And Jermaine Rutherford had a reception late, 3 yards. So as a team, the Karns Beavers had 40 yards on the ground on 22 carries. They had 31 yards through the air on 9 receptions for a total offense of 71 yards. They had 4 first downs in the ball game. They were penalized 7 times for 65 yards. So looking at the teams side by side, Oak Ridge on the ground, they had 102 yards on 18 carries. Karns, 40 yards on 22 carries. Difference was Oak Ridge had 5.7 yards per carry. As a team, the Karns Beavers were held to 1.8 yards per carry. Through the air, they had the Wildcats had 198 yards on 9 receptions. Karns Beavers had 31 yards on 9 receptions. So total offense, Oak Ridge with 300 total offensive yards. Karns, 71. That's a very impressive night for the Wildcats defensively. First downs, Oak Ridge had 9, Karns 4. Penalties, Oak Ridge had 6 penalties for 55 yards. Karns, 7 penalties for 65 yards. Looking at the time of possession, if I can pull that up. It looks, I'll do here real quick. Let me get that done, and then I can go to that other spreadsheet. Possession, Oak Ridge had the ball 21 minutes and 16 seconds. Karns, 26 minutes and 44 seconds. So, as I said before, Oak Ridge victorious tonight over the Karns Beavers, 35-0. Alex?
Thank you, Mark, and thank you to Shauna Pace, Ben George as well. I know that during the game, the stream went down on YouTube, and people would never see this happening, but you guys feverishly, Ben's trying to do camera, you guys are trying to do spotting and stats, and then you're thrown in an extra job trying to play IT, so we appreciate that. Those watching at home appreciate as well. Mike Sheehan, I want your final thoughts. You can give the scoring summary and then the final thoughts as we wrap tonight's broadcast up.
Thank you very much, Alec Myers. To start this game off, Blaine Stansberry, with 5 minutes and 58 seconds into the first quarter, threw a 12-yard pass to Malik Howard, who's made a great move to get into the end zone and put the Wildcats on the board 6-0. Then Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led early 7-0. Then with 1 minute and 47 seconds left still in the first quarter, Blaine Stansberry lined up from his own 30-yard line and threw a beautiful pass out in the flat to Will Presley. Will made 2 people miss and completely outran everybody for a 70-yard touchdown score. The Wildcats went up 13-0. Then Eli Pearson came in and kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 14-0. Then, with 7 minutes and 23 seconds left into the second quarter, Million Porter ran one in from 1 yard out, and the Wildcats went up 20-0. Eli Pearson came in again and kicked the ball between the uprights. Even though the kick was almost blocked, Eli managed to get it between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 21-0. Then with still 5 minutes and 21 seconds left in the second quarter, Blaine Stansbury threw a second touchdown pass to Malik Howard, who made another tremendous catch up over his head, pulled the ball down, made two would-be tacklers miss, ran it in from 20 yards out, and the Wildcats went up 27-0. Then Mr. Dependable Eli Pearson came in, kicked the ball between the uprights, and the Wildcats led 28-0. And then with 28.7 seconds left in the first half, Blaine Stansbury ran one around left end and put the Wildcats up 35-0. Eli Pearson's kick was good, and the Wildcats led at halftime 35-0. And they mercifully ran the clock from there on out, and all the backup players for Oak Ridge got in there, and they got all the way down to the goal line, but just couldn't quite put it in. But the Wildcats, very impressive tonight, pitching a shutout over the Karns Beavers, 35-0. Looking very forward next week to McMinn County coming in here. And then, of course, the week after that, we play homecoming game against Clinton Dragons, which I'm always looking forward to that. But an outstanding performance tonight by the Wildcats, pitching a shutout against a regional rivalry, Karns Beavers, and what a great home stand the Wildcats had tonight here at Blankenship Field, Jack Armstrong Stadium.
Can't put it into much better words than that. I want to say thank you to all our sponsors. Thank you to those who listened, even those maybe listening on the playback on YouTube. We want to remind you that if you ever want to watch the game again and you didn't catch it live, or you caught us live on the audio, the games typically are up on YouTube after pretty much immediately. We thank you again. I want to thank Matthew Charles, Grayson Brown, Ben George, and Alex Waraxa for doing camera. Mike Sheehan, thank you. Thank you to Mark and Shauna Hayes and Ben George for helping us up top all night long. Thank you to Brian Bennett back at the studio. David Clary, who couldn't be here, I appreciate you doing all that you do behind the scenes just to make this broadcast possible. And we hope that, obviously, you're going to be back with us very, very soon. 4 more home games in a row. A lot of important ones coming up. The Wildcats get their first win of the season, moved to 1-2 on the season. Again, final score, Oak Ridge 35, Karns 0. Everybody have a great, safe weekend. Go Wildcats.